In this video, I want to tell you about the 10 most valuable prison commissary items you can purchase while in prison, why these items are so valuable, and also tell you just how much they cost while locked up. So without further ado, what do you say we just go ahead and dive head first into this video. The first most valuable prison commissary item that prisoners can buy is without a doubt stamps. And not just 1 or 2 stamps, but actually books of stamps. 10 or even 20 stamps, which will cost a prisoner somewhere between $5 and $10 to purchase. Now the reason stamps are so important isn't so much for the fact that people do enjoy writing letters while locked up. Of course they enjoy doing that, but stamps are actually one of the most commonly used prison commissary currency items there is. Stamps are without a doubt one of the easiest things to transport throughout the prison, whether taking them out onto the rec yard in hopes of purchasing things, whether it be some sort of electronic items like a CD player, MP3 player, probably something that has been stolen, or some sort of a weapon, or even porn. Stamps are also especially used for gambling while in prison, especially paying out a gambling debt. Prisoners who run gambling tickets for football, basketball, baseball, hell, even hockey, will oftentimes pay winners of those gambling bets with stamps, because it surely is a lot easier to move $20, $30, $50, even $100 worth of prison money in actual stamps instead of something like $100 in various other prison commissary items. Making the list at number 2 is a tuna pouch. While locked up, you most certainly are not going to be able to purchase any sort of canned tuna, canned anything really, because those cans can be turned into prison weapons. So most everything that you can buy in prison that would either come in a can or a jar is going to come in a bag. A prison tuna pouch at the last facility that I was locked up at cost about $2.79. Now in prison currency, this easily equals $3. Now a real quick little prison currency fact to throw into this. A tuna pouch cost $2.79 at the last facility I was locked up at. And that is easily equal to $3 of prison money. But say you had a stick of deodorant that cost the same price. Well, in prison currency terms, that stick of deodorant does not equal $3. And the reason being is because of the fact that hygiene items and food items in prison have a totally different prison currency rating system. Hygiene items are only worth exactly what their sticker price is. But food items, for the most part, are always rounded up to the next dollar amount. Food items used as prison currency are worth a lot more because prisoners would much rather have those food items paid to them instead of hygiene items. In fact, there are certain prisoners who either run gambling operations or are referred to on a prison as a hustle man. This is a prisoner who acts as a middleman, basically going around selling things for other prisoners. And I can most certainly assure you that I myself had my very own hustle man when it came to my prison porn picture kingpin operation. But with these prisoners who run these gambling operations and also these hustle man type of prisoners, in a lot of cases, whatever their actual hustle is, they will not take hygiene items as payment. A tuna pouch is worth $3 of prison money. And these tuna pouches are also another prison commissary item that is relatively easy to transport. Hell, I have seen prisoners transport 10, 20, even more of these tuna pouches in either their waistband or either inside of a pair of sweatpants underneath their prison pants that are tucked into the socks inside of their boots. And it's kind of a funny thing watching a prisoner walk around with like 20 or more tuna pouches stuffed down their pants. These tuna pouches are not only so valuable because of the fact that they are easily transported and are food items, but these tuna pouches are packed with protein as well. In fact, the tuna pouch has something like 14 or more grams of protein in just one single pouch. And to the bodybuilders and the guys who live to work out while in prison, these things are absolutely a hot commodity and very valuable to them as well. Making the list at number 3 is, without a doubt, coffee. Coffee in itself is one of the hottest commodities prisoners can buy while locked up. Reason being is because in prison it's actually referred to as prison crack. In fact, there are guys who are locked up who will drink like 10 or more cups of coffee throughout the course of a day. Can you only imagine how wide their eyes must be 24/7? You got any coffee? Again, prison crack. A bag of coffee in prison can cost anywhere from about $3.50 to upwards of about $5. And in prison currency terms, that is exactly what a single bag of coffee is worth. Pretty much whatever its sticker value is exactly what it goes for as prison currency. Bags of coffee are a relatively easily transported item. Just having one single bag of coffee can actually get you on your feet if you wanted to use that bag of coffee as your prison hustle. There are prisoners who actually sell what is referred to in prison as coffee balls. These are single, individually bagged up shots of coffee that prisoners will actually sell for like 50 cents a shot. And by the way, a shot is equal to a single cup of coffee. If you weren't the type of prisoner who would get high on their own supply, meaning you weren't really a coffee drinker, you could actually bag up that entire bag of coffee that cost you somewhere between $3.50 and $5 and get at least 20 single shots of coffee out of that bag. And 20 shots times 50 cents, well, that is a grand whopping $10. Making the list at number 4 of most valuable commissary items that prisoners can purchase are bags of candy. Your Jolly Ranchers, Now and Laters, Starburst, and these bags of candy retail in prison anywhere between about 79 cents and 89 cents a bag. In prison currency, these bags of candy easily go for $1 prison dollar. And the reason these bags of candy are so valuable isn't so much the fact that prisoners just want to eat that candy. The real reason bags of candy are so valuable in prison is because there are a lot of prisoners who actually have their prison hustle making prison candy. They will actually take those Jolly Ranchers and melt them down, mixing them with those melted down Starburst or Now and Laters. Mix all of that up in a bowl and then carefully break off single servings of this homemade prison candy to then be bagged up and sold to the other prisoners. You probably wouldn't think this prison hustle is as lucrative as it really is, but I have to assure you, there are not only a lot of prisoners who have hustles selling this prison-made candy, there are actually gangs, literal prison gangs, Bloods, Crips, Aryans, whose main source of prison currency income is not only just extortion and stealing from other prisoners, but actually selling prison candy. Making the list at number 5 is probably no real surprise. Did that rhyme? Hey yo, making the list at number 5 is probably no real surprise. What the fuck was that? But making the list at number 5 again is probably no surprise, but it is, of course, ramen noodles. Ramen noodles are basically like the lifeblood inside of the prison system. Not only are they in most cases the main ingredient to most prison meals, but they are also the cheapest food item that prisoners can purchase. So prisoners who really don't have too much money, whether they are only living on their little prison job making like $17 a month, or whether they have a low-paying prison hustle, possibly washing dishes or clothes for other prisoners. In a lot of cases, these specific prisoners rely heavily on ramen noodle soups. In prison, ramen noodle soups cost anywhere between about 33 cents to about 40 cents per single soup. And in most cases, it takes 3 ramen noodle soups to equal $1 prison dollar. These ramen noodle soups really aren't too ideal to use as prison currency, especially when it revolves around big money prison currency. And by the way, big money prison currency can be as little as like $10. But let's just say hypothetically, you were locked up for something you'd rather not talk about. I know what you did. I know. I'm kidding, you're probably as clean as bed sheets in a hotel. But let's just say hypothetically there was a $10 debt that needed to be paid to a prisoner across the prison compound. Well, in order to equal up to 10 prison dollars in ramen noodles, that would take a whopping 30 soups. You know, I still really suck at math, but when it comes to prison math, I'm pretty good at that. And realistically, there's really no way you can transport 10 prison dollars in ramen noodles across a prison yard. It's just not gonna happen. You're talking about trying to stuff 30 ramen noodle soups down your pants legs or inside of your shirt. You're definitely gonna get caught and you're gonna lose all of those soups. And you may even get locked up in isolation for trying to transport those soups. Coming in at number 6 is peanut butter. In fact, peanut butter is one of the few things that prisoners can get that does come in a jar. I forgot about that. But peanut butter is super valuable in prison for a number of different reasons. One, it's packed with protein. Also, has a lot of fat in it as well. But prisoners who work out on a constant daily basis are not worried about the fat that is in peanut butter as much as they are concerned with that protein that is in it. In fact, prisoners who have rigorous workout routines will actually take peanut butter and use that to make prison protein shakes. I have to assure you, they're not that good. Two, peanut butter has a long list of uses while locked up. It can pretty much be mixed with anything. Whether making a prison cake, whether mixing it with your ramen noodles to make prison doo-doo balls, mixing it with your oatmeal for breakfast, putting it on top of a honey bun to make a really tasty prison dessert. Hell, I have even seen prisoners, actually I'm lying, I'm completely lying. I did this myself. I'm not even gonna put this on anybody else. There was this one time I mixed peanut butter with coffee. It was disgusting, but I was one of these coffee junkie prisoners who really liked my coffee while locked up. So I would always find myself trying to make the best prison Starbucks I possibly could. Look for that video coming soon, how to make prison Starbucks. Peanut butter in prison costs about $2.80 a jar. It's definitely worth $3 prison dollars. Not only is peanut butter good for the many uses that it can be mixed with, but a jar of peanut butter can also be used as a prison hiding spot by actually digging deep into the jar of peanut butter and then hiding your contraband down inside of that jar and then kind of trying to smooth out the top of that peanut butter. Number 7 is what is referred to as meal foods. These are your summer sausages, your cheese tubs, your cheese bars, things like that. And these meal foods cost anywhere between about $1.70 for like a cheese bar. A cheese tub is more like $2.33. A beef summer sausage costs about $2.70. And all of these items in relation to prison money are definitely rounded up to the next dollar amount. These are very valuable prison commissary items to have, not only for the fact that they're worth a lot of money. Any prisoner selling anything or offering any sort of gambling or anything else will take these as payment. They're also pretty easy to transport for the most part. But even more important than all of that is the fact that, say you have a beef summer sausage. Well, with that beef summer sausage, you have the potential to be able to get in the car with your other prisoners who may be getting ready to meal up, make a prison meal. Hey, I've got a beef summer sausage I can throw in. Can I get in the car? And with that beef summer sausage, 9 times out of 10, you will be allowed to meal up with those other prisoners. Prisoners always like to come together, bringing what they can to the table in an effort to make prison meals. So that single beef summer sausage can actually be turned into a full course prison meal that will actually fill you up. And is pretty tasty as well. Number 8 is hygiene items. Your soaps, deodorants, and toothpaste. Now these items are a lot less valuable than your prison food items, but prisoners do like to stockpile their hygiene. It's the craziest damn thing in the world to see a prisoner's locker. This prisoner has like 5-10 years to serve, and when they open up their locker, you just can't help but to see literally rows of deodorants and like piles of bars of soap and tubes of toothpaste. It's like these guys are ready for the end of days in prison. In fact, if the end of days were to come while in prison, the one thing that they would not have to worry about is their hygiene. A bar of soap in prison costs anywhere from about 75 cents to about $1.20 for your higher end prison soap. A tube of toothpaste can cost you anywhere from about $1.75 for your cheaper brand up to about $3 for your Crest or Colgate. And deodorant in prison costs about $2.50 upwards to about $2.89. All of these hygiene items are only worth what their sticker price is valued at, but they are super important in relation to valuable commissary items prisoners can have, because no prisoner wants to be caught or referred to as that guy who has bad hygiene. My God, your breath smells like I literally just got punched in the face. Do you have any toothpaste? No. Whoo! That's some stinking ass breath. Number 9 are sodas. Sodas are super valuable to prisoners locked up. They're almost like the Alizé of things that you can drink while locked up. Because 99.9% of the time while in prison, the only other thing you are drinking is either milk that comes in a bag served at breakfast time. You really have not experienced life until you have had milk served to you from a bag. Horrible soft Peter prison Kool-Aid. No bullshit, there is actually a prison myth that says there is something like soft Peter or salt Peter inside of prison Kool-Aid that makes your Peter soft. Also, this Kool-Aid has been rumored to absolutely stain your insides and damage your kidneys, causing like kidney failure or disease. So you really want to try to stay away from the Kool-Aid when you're locked up. And other than that, your only other option is prison water. Yes, there is actually such a thing as prison water. And you can bet that 99.9% of the time that prisoners are actually drinking anything at all, it's prison water. So yeah, sodas are super valuable to guys who are locked up. Again, like the Alizé of things that you can drink while incarcerated. Sodas cost about 48 or 49 cents from prison commissary, and obviously they are definitely worth 50 cents in prison currency. And the last item to make this list of most valuable prison commissary items that prisoners can purchase, number 10, your sweet items, such as your cookies and more specifically, your honey buns. Not your Junie cakes, actual honey buns. Cookies in prison come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. You can get these little small trays of cookies that cost about 89 cents. Some facilities even allow you to buy the full pack of like Chips Ahoy that can cost upwards of like $4. These items are definitely rounded up to the next dollar amount for their prison currency value. Honey buns come in a few different varieties as well. You can just get your regular glazed honey bun that can cost about 69 cents. Or you can get what is referred to as your white girl, a icy white honey bun. Hey, do you got any white girls available? No bullshit, that is what prisoners call honey buns that have white icing on them. White girls. And like so many of these other items that we've talked about in this video, these sweet items are valuable for a number of reasons as well. Not only do prisoners get the craving and the knacking for a little sweetness in their life, but also with these cookies in particular, these can be mashed down with the icing scraped out of them and actually turned into real prison cake, which I will be showing you how to make very soon here on After Prison Show. And also these honey buns are just as valuable as well. For one, I don't know one prisoner who can resist a tempting white girl honey bun. And not only prisoners as well, but actual prison staff. I've actually seen prisoners pay off prison guards using honey buns as like a form of bribery. Hey, I'm gonna give you like 2 honey buns if you kind of like turned a blind eye to what is about to go down in this bathroom right now. I have actually seen stuff like that happen on like several different occasions. There is also what is referred to as a honey bun hit. This is actually where a prisoner is paid in honey buns. Hey, I'm gonna give you 10 honey buns right now if you go punch this guy dead in his face. So yeah, honey buns can actually get you beat up in prison. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!